What it do? What it do? What it do? What it do? Shalom, man. Glad to see y'all. Where y'all at? Right there. Glad to see y'all. It's been a minute. How y'all feel, man? Y'all there? Y'all there with me? What it do? Family, Shabbatah. Hey, we just here in the barber shop. Top of the sun. I'm top of the soul. Top of the sun. We just trying to get it in way up in the forest, man. We zenny with it. We try to be that all the time. All the time. All the horrors. Because it's really a vibration that you have to connect to, man. You always try to be happy, man. Try to not happy in the sense it's goofy, but you gotta have joy, especially when you realize what the Creator has done for us all. So you gotta be joyous, man, and also you gotta show penance to the one that put you here, man. But the reason why we here, but before we get into reason, I just wanna, because this is all about a wall of protection, and so we always want to acknowledge that wall, man. Everybody building the wall. Donald Trump building the wall. You got China with the wall. Mexico with the wall. We got a wall too now. We have a wall of protection. CUV. It's a wall of protection. And over and over again, repetitive, man. We just give thanks. We give thanks, and we give Thawadah, and we give Ahab, thanks and love. We give Thawadah and we give Ahab to our Shabbatah, to our family, to our clan, to our tribe, to our Shabbatah. And it's a beautiful thing. So we always do that because this is one unit, one unified voice. So we don't have to go back and forth with, well, who said what, who brought the Anasazi, who brought the Prester John, this is one unified wall. All the way from Santa Rica, you know what I'm saying? All the way from Costa Rica with Curry Mayo, all the way to Colorado with the Templar Red, all the way to Texas, all the way to Toe, Texas with Ty Battle, all the way to Khalifa, California, with King Drop and the Droplets and the fam, Chef Candy and Isaac Ford and AD the Truth Seeker, Khalifa, California, and all the way down to Memphis, with Jay Stu and Camilla Stu. You understand? To all the way to Louisiana, where Vanessa Perkins and her tribe. And I know it stretched way further. We got Yosef the Real, all the way to his hometown. All the way stretched across the Americas, man. We got some brothers in the UK that's getting dropped, getting hit over the head, man, and is vibing up to what's been going on this platform. And if you don't know, this is the Ame'rican Naga. The Ame'rican Naga. From right here. From the soil. Before pre-Columbus. This is before the Pharisees. This is this land, this soil. And we have prophets that stretch all across the world. all across the world. And if it's existence on other planets, I know we came from there and been there too. Prophesizing what our Creator does. So we give thanks to our Creator. Thanks to our Creator for producing us, for vibrating us, and we thankful for our Creator and His Lamb. And His Lamb. It's a beautiful thing. And everyone knows what I mean when I say lamb. This is a priest kingdom. A priest kingdom. And if you can't understand the priest kingdom, then it's okay to just be. It's okay to just be the children of Ahchwa. It's okay to be the children of Ahchwa. This is a priest kingdom. No one can tell you who you are. They can't tell you who you are, so how is they gonna tell you who you ain't? No one can tell you who you are. Don't ever think that someone else can be like, hey, nah, that's not you, who you claiming to be. You can be, you know. No one can tell you how indigenous you really are. It's a beautiful thing. But we here, man. And don't forget, we stretching all the way to Udall, to Judah, man. So all the way to Judah, man, where we got the 10 acres, man. And that's another thing, acres, land. You know, it's one thing about the prophet Ahchwa, man, is that he made sure that, you know, he finished where Moshe left off. Moshe was all about bringing us the law. Bringing us the law, and it was very important for us to get the law. You know what I'm saying? The Creator's messages, the Hamashiach. You know, and it's very important. It was very important for us to get to law. Then when we got the law, it was very important for Ahchwa to enforce it. You know, as you can see in his story, that Ahchwa wasn't. He said, I want you to keep the law. At the end of at the end of Joshua in chapter 24, he told you, said, man, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna worship the Creator. Y'all can worship blase, 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 these gods, those gods for these people, but this is what it do. This is the oracle that will get you freedom. This is the oracle that will purify your vessel. See, you got to understand, it's a lot of things out there that you can gravitate to. You can gravitate into the sun if you want to and become strengthened in that. You can gravitate to the water and strengthen in that. There's strength in every element that the Creator put here for us. But you have to understand, to strengthen your vessel, you need those laws. I don't care what any Christians say. See, you got to understand that we are Christian. I mean, Christian is like a lower level word of Hebrew. You understand? Christian is a lower level word of Hebrew. Okay? Christian, but Christian details more in a Greek philosophy that or ideology that Christian relates to a Hamashiach. So the word Christ relates to Christian, but Christ is referring to a Hamashiach. Okay, a Hamashiach, the breath that the Most High came into. You remember where it said in Numbers that that he came into 70 elders. The Ruach, the Spirit, came into 70 elders and they prophesied. They prophesied. 70 elders prophesied. And Moshe told Ahchwa, he said, man, I wish all of Ahchwa's people will prophesy, will become a priest king. King is over your tribe. Become a priest king. So I wish we all were priest kings. We would never foul each other. We would never think we are against each other. We would all speak the breath of Ahchwa. the breath of Moses, we would all speak that law, that writing of Moses. Moses was commanded by the Most High to write that law. And you're commanded by the Most High to read that law. So man, we thankful for everybody. And it's so many, man. We thankful for everybody who I even didn't mention. I know the tribe is thick, and I know y'all probably listening, and trust me, y'all, I give all recognition, but it gets kind of corny just to keep going over everybody's name, but y'all know y'all here. And we have to plan a homage. I'm gonna get with Brother Red, man, and my brothers in Khalifa, and my people in Texas, my tribe in Texas, and my tribe in Memphis. And I'm trying to get everybody together, and so just we can have a feast together, a Shabbat feast, in the land or in one of their lands. We can have a Shabbat feast. I know we got a good park, a beautiful park down here where I took y'all to, and I know I made a mistake on the name, but that's because I just didn't want people to know where I was right at that point. But that's Lake, well, not Lake, that's Wapadonia, Chief Wapadonia Park. Check out the video where we were at. We were just doing a tourist session. We were in Chief Wapadonia Park, and it was beautiful, right on the Milwaukee River. So I mean, it's all indigenous. It's indigenous to your soul, to your spirit, to your ruach. Just the whole thing is 24/7, man. Just try to vibe up. Try to stay vibed up, and for men, for our men, for our brothers out there, you know, there's one thing beautiful about us is that we can relay our messages differently. Meaning, if we from a man to a woman to a child, there's different ways that we have to relay our messages to them, and that's what we have to stay focal on. We can't just be at one tone to each and every body. There's an element of care that we have to deal with people. So when we deal with our women, there's a softness, a delicacy. When we deal with our children, there's a firmness, but also a delicacy. And when we deal with our brothers, there's a firmness, but there's a love. There's love, there's Ahchwa. And that's how we deal with each other. So us brothers, we got to stop getting offended with each other when we deal with each other firm. We're supposed to deal with each other firm. So I want y'all to understand that firmness is godliness. You understand? Firmness is Hamashiachness. You know, so we have to be able to deal with each other firm. You understand? Our brothers. I gotta be able to talk and to deal with Uno firmly. I have to be able to deal with King Drop firmly, but with love. I have to be able to tell my brothers the real, but with love. You understand? And when it comes to our women, we gotta have that delicacy, that finesse. You understand? Because we are different, and that's what we have to acknowledge. But if we keep treating our woman the same as we treat men, then how can we ask them to be a woman and to be different? You understand? How can we allow them to shine in their goldness, in their copperness? All right, so it's the same way with the children. You know, we have to treat them with the firmness to grow them up to be men and to be women, proper women in the law. So that takes firmness, but it also takes a delicacy, because they are children. They're impressionable. You understand? And everything takes love. Everything takes the heart, Shekinah. Everything takes Shekinah. If you don't use the heart, to love. The heart will attack you. So you must use the heart to love, man. That's all I want to say about that, man. I love y'all. This is real with me. This is always real. This is real with the whole tribe. So don't ever think that we faking about anything, man. We love you. We'll die for this. We'll die for this. This is our love, Shekinah. This is our love to you all. I love everybody. I love everyone. I have love for everyone. If you can express love to me, I can love you back. I have no problem. Any color, creed, I don't have any problem. Because this is a Hebrew land. And over us is a Hebrew God. And there is nothing else. This land is sanctioned. This land is ordained. This whole land, this whole earth is ordained by our Hebrew God, Ahchwa, Allah, and his Lamb, the Hamashiach. So let's not get nothing twisted. If we don't love, it's just going to attack you. The heart is just going to attack you. And you can look it up, man. Look at the statistics of so many of our brothers and sisters and children. Children who's come out the womb learning to hate. Who's actually having complications with their heart. So let's love Shabbatah. Let's love my people. Tawadah for joining me in this Yapa Levitical priest flow. Zadok. But we here, right, because I wanted to. I got a book. Man. I ordered a book about a month ago. And I'm just now, it came to me and I wasn't there. So, and then it came to me again and I wasn't there. And so I had to go pick it up. So I'm just picking it up from the post office. I didn't even know it was this big. I'm excited. So I don't even remember what book it is. But the most important thing is I wanted to open this book up with you because I was excited when I purchased it. But I can't remember what book it was. I look at so many books, and we look at so many books. We look at so many books, man. And we got so many books. So it must be a book that we ain't got. I don't know. Or a version. We might got the book, but we don't have this version. So it might be a version that we don't got. But either way, man, I'm excited, man. A book. Oh my goodness. A book is like a copper necklace or a copper earring. A book is like pulses. After you've embodied the pulses and you feel the energy. Like now, I feel so much energy with just holding this book. I feel so much impelled with so much energy just from holding this book. But the book is like gold. A book is like lessons. A book is like elevation. A book is vibration. A book. I don't even know what book it is. I'm excited though. Y'all ready to open it? Y'all ready to open it? Alright, man. Well, let's check it out. Let's see what book it is. Y'all ready? Alright, with no further ado. Woo! With no further ado, man. With no further ado. Oh man, it don't say nothing. It don't say nothing. What is it though? Let's see. What book is it? Oh man, this is a book, of Ancient Israel by Roland Duval. The words are off, but as you can see, it says Ancient Israel. It's missing another word, so we're gonna look in the inside and see. From the Divinity Faculty Library, Cambridge. Ooh. Here's our order number. Order number 2385310. This is a used book. This is a used book. So it came from someone from the library. Ancient Israel, Its Life and Institutions. Ancient Pueblo. Pueblo means ancient. So Pueblo, Israel. Pueblo, Yasharala. Huh? Pueblo, Yasharala. Its Life and Institutions. By Duval, Roland Duval. This is an ex-library book and may have the usual library used book markings. This book has hard copy. I wanted to get this hardback with the usual stamps. Okay, alright. Yeah, this came from Amazon. Came from Amazon. Pueblo Yasharala. Its Life and its Institutions. Oh man, get it? You got it. Beautiful hardcover. You know this is going into the library, and I got to get this over to translated by John McHugh. I got to get this over to this is out of London. I got to get this over to the Drop Library, man, so we can somehow get this in there. Wow. Wow. Alright, just give me a second, man. Give me a second. Give me a second to for the convenience of the readers who are not familiar with the nomenclature adopted in this book. The list below show the equivalents in the authorized King James Version. Now, do y'all know too, James, when it goes back to Hebrew, that James is another derivative from Jacob? Did y'all know that? Yeah, so that's interesting, man. James in Hebrew would be a primitive. The primitive root of the word James, or the name James, would be Jacob. So that's something one to grow on, something to think about too. So authorized King James Version, or King Jacob Version, in the Dachania or Knox, where differences occur. So man, we got Joshua, ABKJ. Yeah, check this out, man. Where we got Joshua and Hosea and man, we just, it's breaking it down a lot. We got to study it a little more. This is just the notes. So we gotta check it out, study it a little more, and it's note on nomenclature of some books of the Bible and the Apocrypha. Okay, look up that word, would y'all? Look up that word, nomenclature. If y'all will, look up that word, nomenclature. How you spell it? It's Nomenclature. U-R-E. What does that word mean? I know y'all vibing up, so y'all gonna, be on it. Lisa Robinson. Look that word up for me. Lisa Robinson, would you please look that word up? That's my sister, man. My sister, Lisa Robinson and LJ Free. LJ Free, man, they are warriors. I don't even want to say soldiers because they ain't taking no orders, only from the Creator. They are warriors for the Creator, and man, I thank y'all. Y'all been riding. Y'all been riding the wave, and becoming that wave for sure. It's a beautiful thing, and I'm giving props. I'm twisting up a lot. I'm twisting up a lot for y'all, sis. This is in real time. I'm twisting up a lot for y'all. This is Ahchwa. When I twist up a lot, this is Ahchwa. When we twist up a lot, this is Ahchwa. So everybody, all my Hebrews, twist up a lot, twist up a lot, twist up a lot, my Hebrews, for our beautiful sisters, okay? Our precious sisters, okay? LJ Free and Lisa Robinson, man, keep staying vigilant, diligent. Keep getting close to omniscient as you can. It's a beautiful thing. So I thank y'all. So yeah, one of y'all, please, sisters, look up that word nomenclature. Nomenclature. Okay, and y'all check the what do you call it? The drops or the messages or whatever, the links below, because them sisters gonna give you the definition that it's gonna be down below. So y'all check it out. Thank you, Sister Stawada, and much Ahchwa. So yeah, you get the nomadism and its survival. The family institutions of what type was the Israelite family, the solidarity, the engagements. This is beautiful. You pass up that most important. Deliberate. Civil institutions, the person of the king, the royal household, the royal children, the king's attendants, the minister of David and Solomon, the master of the palace, the royal secretary. Wow. The armies of Israel, the military institutions, the administrator of the kingdom, administration of the kingdom, the economic life, divisions of times. Wow. Wow. Semitic sanctuaries, temple at Jerusalem, priestly office. Pretty much it's a lot, you already know it's coincide with what's in the Torah and the scriptures. The priesthood after the exile, the Levites in the work of the Chronicles, the Levitical functions, the clergy. Oh, this is a beautiful book. Total of 571 pages. So it's actually the same length as the New Testament, actually. It's about that. So introduction, nomadism and its survival. Alright, I just want to give y'all the background if I can, because we going through it. So let me give y'all the background real quick, and stay tuned, because we're gonna be hitting you over the head with this. This is ancient Israel and its institutions. Alright, let's check out the background. So you'll see I am actually reading from the and those of you just tuned in, those of you that just tuned in, we're reading Ancient Israel, its life and its institutions. Okay, Its Life and Institutions by Roland Van Duvel, or Roland Duvall. Alright, so let's get back. The Israelite concept of the state. We even got Man, it talks about even runaway slaves. Runaway slaves. Slaves, the existence of slavery in Israel. Slaves of foreign origin. Israelite slaves. The number and value of slaves. The position of slaves. Female slaves. Runaway slaves. The emancipation of slaves. State slaves. Give me a second. Shalom. So let's just get right into it then. So it says, we're reading the background. At the beginning of their history, the Israelites, Yasharallah, like their ancestors before them, lived as nomads or semi-nomads. And what they mean as nomads is because, you remember, we had this divine faith. And we always had to separate ourselves from the rest that wasn't on this divine faith, this divine conscience. So we always been somehow semi-nomadic to everyone else. A level of isolation so we can live as the Creator. And when they came to settle down as a nation, they still retained some of the characteristics of that earlier way of life. Consequently, any study of Old Testament institutions must begin with an investigation into nomadism. The biblical records preserve many ancient traditions about the early life of the Israelites, of the Jacobs. And these are of first importance in our study. But since this evidence has been to some extent systemized by later editors of the books, great care is needed in interpreting these records. We have other sources of information too, texts about the Arabs in pre-Islamic times. Okay? Texts about the Arabs in pre-Islamic times. Okay? And ethnographical studies about the Arabs of today. These nomad Arabs, by race and country, are closely related to Jacob. And what we know of pre-Islamic, modern, and contemporary Arab life can help us to understand more clearly the primitive organization of Jacob. On the other hand, one must beware of hasty comparisons which may overlook essential differences. Alright, so let's not get it twisted. Now you know everything we gotta watch out for hijacks. We gotta dodge our own hijacks, so y'all know about that. But when it said, you know, before pre-Arab time, you have to understand that we went all over the world. We went all over the world, from the Arabs to the Aryans, you know, to the Aborigines in Australia. You have to understand we went all over this world prophesizing. Okay, so don't let them, you know, don't let them shuffle you up in your discernment about who you are. So these nomad Arabs by race and country are closely related to the Israelites, of course. And what we know of pre-Islamic, modern, and contemporary Arab life can help us to understand more clearly of the primitive organization of Israel. Alright? Yeah, because, you know, the Greeks or Aryans adapted on closely to our Israelite traditions for sure. We are of the same people. Don't get it twisted. We are the same people, and that's the thing. We don't want to but understand that our brothers must step up from your idols and your misunderstanding to to Israel. Israel never steps down. Jacob will never step down to your ideology or to your, you know what I'm saying, to your worship of idols. You will always have to step up to Israel. You have to step up to our tabernacle. Believe that. So the fact is that even in the contemporary small area in the Middle East, there have always been difficult types of nomads. And what is true of one type is not necessarily true of another. Even today, these differences persist through the wonders how much longer any form of nomadism can survive. The real nomad, okay, or true Bedouin, the word means man of the desert. Man of the desert is a camel breeder. Okay, he can live in or at least traverse regions which are strictly desert, where the annual rainfall is less than 4 inches. He travels enormous distances with his herds in search of grazing and has very little contact with settled people, which is beautifully true. But I mean, we don't have camels over here, and so, but it's nothing for us to navigate, right? Whatever you have that would get you to a destination, we'll ride a camel, a horse, a mule. We've breeded whatever animals in the land that we live. So we've breeded camels, we've breeded elephants, we've breeded lions, we've breeded jaguars. So I mean, our contribution to the animal breeding, I mean, that's our way of life. You have to remember that. That's our way of life. So, you know, don't let them twist you up with that. Also, y'all, you have to be open. You got to understand that recognizing the Creator and the Hamashiach, you have to be open. You have to receive breath. When you always bickering about certain instances, it takes away from the truth that they're all truths under the Creator. All truths are ordained under the Creator. What is the vibration? What is the light? Where's the light coming from? Is it standing on what light? What foundation of light do we speak of? That's what's important. But I'm just real with it, man. We just trying to be real with it, you know, because we have to unite off one voice. One voice. We have to agree on this unification. So one thing, you say about this struggle. If you struggling, then that means you need some help. Alright? The brass, the copper is going to help you. The brass, the clay, the copper will help you. Alright, so overstand, man. Overstand. So a real nomad, a nomad, however, may breed only sheep and goats, and these flocks are not so hardy. They need to drink more often and cannot survive on the rough pastures with sufficient for camels, which are sufficient for camels. Camels store water in their humps. That's why they're good for traveling over the desert. So camels was always good for traveling over the desert. Okay, and this type of bonium lives mainly in the half desert region, where the rainfall is 4 to 10 inches. Okay, half desert region, the rainfall is 4 to 10 inches, and lives distance he travels from one grazing ground to the next are necessarily shorter. Sometimes he does cover considerable ground, but then he must follow a route where the watering places are not too distant from one another. he has far more contact with the settled regions, for his grazing lies along their borders. Once he begins to raise cattle as well as flocks, the shepherd ceases to a true nomad. The shepherd ceases to be a true nomad once he began to raise cattle as well as flocks. Alright? The shepherd ceases to be a true nomad. He settles in one place, begins to cultivate the land, and to build houses. Among the group, however, some will continue to live in tents with the flocks, at least during the winter and the spring, depending on the extent to which he is tied to the land. Such a man is either half a nomad or half a settler. This is beautiful, man. Let me read that over. Once he began to raise cattle as well as flocks, the shepherd ceases to be a true nomad. To be a true nomad. He settles in one place, begins to cultivate the land and to build houses. Among the group, however, some will continue to live in tents with flocks, at least during the winter and the spring, depending on the extent to which he is tied to the land. Such a man is either half a nomad or half a settler. Alright? So it said, man, a nomad, however, may breed only sheep and goats. And these flocks, what we're talking about is, we're talking about breeding the animals that chew the cud. Okay, these are clean animals. So that's what he's talking about. He's talking about the fact that only a nomad, we breed clean animals. So we wouldn't have any pigs or whores or whatever you call it, you know. We would have sheep, goat, okay, which is lamb, cattle. Cattle's cow, or what are these other, or anything from that family. I can't remember all the animals that chew. Let me just ask real quick. No, you know what? I'll just leave that up to y'all. That chew the cud, right? Chew the cud. Y'all know what chewing the cud means, right? Chewing the cud is meaning that it has something to do with the digestive system, where it chews up the food twice, and that way it keeps some type of minerals that's in the food, and therefore it energizes the body. It replenishes the animal's body because it chews the cud. Okay, it's a way of chewing and a way of a special digestive system. A large intestine, a small intestine, and the food comes back up from the small intestine back into the mouth, and therefore the minerals from the food then replenishes into the bloodstream of the animal. Okay, so that's why those animals that were considered clean according to Leviticus, the animals are considered clean according to Leviticus. That's what a nomad would basically farm. Okay, so all right, LJ Free, Lisa Robinson, my sisters, Shalom, y'all check that out. Maybe y'all can put a definition for that also. Chewing the cud. What does cud mean? C-U-D, cud. Okay, and then put that down in the links below too. That'd be a beautiful thing. You know, we all work together on that one. So Baruch to my sisters. Good Baruch. Okay, so once he began to raise cattle as well as flocks, the shepherd ceased to be a true nomad. Okay, he settles in one place, begins to cultivate the land. He settles in one place, begins to cultivate the land, and to build houses. Okay? So if you're thinking that a nomad don't build houses, you're truly mistaken. Check out where we traveled to Decapolis. All right? Those 30 cities that was taken by the Greeks, or shared. I'm gonna say not taken, I'm gonna say shared. Those 30 cities that we shared to our brothers that came over. That was in Decapolis, by the Sea of Galilee, in Gadesera, where we actually warred there. We had a big war. It was the war of the Hebrews there. And so we built cities everywhere, man. So never think you gotta be stagnant. Okay? We ain't never stagnant. The Creator has us always working, always moving, just like the stars, the moon, and the sun. Okay? And the clouds. Okay, once he began to, okay, we got through with that. Alright, so he begins to cultivate the land and to build houses. Among the group, however, some will continue to live in tents also. So you're going to see a bunch of tents around all the time. Man, this is beautiful. At least during the winter and the spring. At least during the winter and the spring, depending on the extent to which he is tied to the land. Such a man is either half a nomad or half a settler. In and between these main types of society, there are a course of intermediate stages and hybrid forms. A camel breeding life may possess flocks of sheep also. A camel breeding tribe may possess flocks of sheep, or even land at the far ends of the track of its migration, or oasis cultivated by self-labor. Neither the Israelites nor the ancestors were ever true Bedouin, Bedouin. I'm gonna look that up real quick. Bedouin.
Here's the definition of Bedouin: a nomadic Arab of the desert.
Okay. Oh, a nomadic Arab of the desert. Okay. So Arab meaning someone of the desert. Okay. Neither the Israelites nor their ancestors were true Arabs of the desert, that is, camel breeders. Their fathers kept sheep and goats, and when we first met them in history, because we weren't always in the desert, that's why. We met them in history, the patriarchs are already becoming a settled people. This is one factor which puts limits to the comparisons which can be drawn from the Bedouin who ethnographers have studied. These modern writers have also studied sheep breeders, tribes who are beginning to settle down. The latter represent the same social type as the earliest Israelite groups. And here the comparison has greater truth in it, but again there is a difference. The sheep breeders of today, half nomad or half settler, were formerly camel breeders. They no longer wander so far afield for pasture and are now gradually settling down. But they retain the memory and some of the customs of that life of open desert or in the wilderness. The Israelites had no such memories. Okay, but they retain memory and some of the customs of that life of liberty in the open desert. The Israelites had no such memories because neither they nor their ancestors had ever known this life, because neither they nor their ancestors had ever known this life. Besides, in their time, there was no real desert civilization to lay down codes of behavior. In their eyes, the desert was the refuge of outlaws, the hunt of brigands, the home of demons and wild beasts. We shall return to this subject when discussing what has been called the nomadic idea of the Old Testament. So yeah, man, that tells you, man. That tells you, we survived where we always was given land that was fruitful. So the land that was fruitful contained water, good soil for planting, because that was our way of life, planting trees. We were with living, okay? The desert is dead, okay? The desert would have been punishment, or like you said, refuge. But we were all about living. So that's why you can differentiate a difference between this American Naga, this water flow Naga, this Ahchwa Naga. It's all about the water, man. It's all about the moisture. Okay, it's all about life. It's all about living. That's a beautiful thing. So I love this book because it actually, it differentiates that. It's honest when it tells you that, our ancestors and our way of life, we were always giving land of milk and honey, flowing, pastures, beautiful. Okay? And remember, the Most High said, even trees, I don't care, the tallest tree look like a bush to me. Okay? Remember, he said that. It looks like a bush to me. So, you need to stand so I can see you. Okay? So, nevertheless, the facts remain that the Israelites or their ancestors did live for a time in the desert as nomads or semi-nomads. Naturally, such a life entails a distinct pattern of society and enjoins a code of behavior all of its own. We are therefore justified in using, with due reservation, our organization and customs of the Arabs for comparison. Okay? In the desert, the unit of society must be compact enough to remain mobile, yet strong enough to ensure its own safety. This unit is the tribe. In the desert, an individual who is separated from his own group must be able to count without question on a welcome from the groups through which he passes or which he joins. Anyone may have need of this help, and therefore everyone must give it. This is the basis of law, of hospitality and asylum. Finally, in the desert there is no police force or court of justice with authority over the tribes. Consequently, the group as a whole is held responsible for crime and liable for its punishment. The law of blood vengeance. These three sociological facts, which are most obvious characteristics of nomadism, must now claim our attention for a time. Okay? Then the book gets into a tribal organization, a constitution of a tribe. Okay, I'll read a little bit of that, but then, we just gonna break away. And I'm gonna let y'all do y'all thing, get on back with y'all day, and shalom to everybody, peace and power. Alright, and just, vibrate up, just stay vibrating up. Okay, the constitution of a tribe. A tribe is an autonomous group, okay, of families, of clans who believe they are descended from a common ancestor. Each tribe is called by the name of surname of that ancestors, sometimes, but not always, preceded by sons of, okay? Alright, so I'm going to leave it at that. What unites, I feel like this is important. What unites all tribemen? What unites all the tribesmen then is this blood relationship, real or supposed. They all consider themselves brothers in a wide sense. Okay? And Abimelech says to the entire clan of his mother, remember that I am of your bones and of your flesh. All the members of David's clan are, in his eyes, his brothers. And he goes so far as to tell all the elders of Judah, you are my brothers, you are my flesh, in my bones. Every tribe has its traditions, too, about the ancestors from whom it claims descent. Man, Yapa, 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 Yapa. So, man, we're going to get into some volumes of that book. Y'all make sure y'all stay tuned. Blessed be the day, man. Blessed be the day, Baruch. All praise, Hawa Allah. All praise, Hawa Allah. He is law. Hawa is law. Hawa is law. We are thankful for our Hamashiachs, because that is what will bring us together, what will unite from poor people to rich people, to fat people, to skinny people, to all people, to all people. That's why you see these idols everywhere of your Hamashiachs. Your idols everywhere of Hamashiachs coming, your Hamashiach coming to lay down the law. And Yahshua laid down the land for us. And with that token, with that seal, we have zeal. We are the Zealots. We are the Sakari. We are the Maccabees. We are the Anasazi. We are the Pueblo people. We are Prester John. We are the priest kings of Hawa Allah. They have my people, man. And y'all remember Shekinah. You know, it's all about the heart. It's all about the heart, my people. It's all about the heart. So it's all about the heart. So it's one love. It's one love. I love y'all. And I see y'all soon. And we here, man. We here. We way up in the forest. We vibrating. All right. Now y'all do it with me. Do it with me one time. One time, just do it with me. If we can just, we about to breathe fire on this shit, man. All right. We about to breathe fire on it. So y'all with me one time. Let's do it together and feel that vibration outside of your vessel. All right. I want us to feel that vibration outside as well as inside of our vessel when we all vibrate together on the same accord, on one voice. Let's all breathe fire on this shit with the Creator one time. All right, just one time, everybody, and just tell me how you feel afterwards. So I'm gonna count to 3, and I just want us to breathe fire, man. Alright, let's be on the same accord. I want the Most High and His angels, Melchizedek, Gabriel, I want His angels to feel this righteous vibration for our Creator. Okay? So when I count to 3, we're going to breathe fire, man. We're going to breathe fire on this, man. We're going to breathe fire on our oppression. We're going to breathe fire for our freedom. We're going to breathe fire for our Creator, for our righteousness, for our Hamashiachs. We're going to breathe fire. We're going to breathe fire for our priest kings, man. We're going to breathe fire for Israel. We're going to breathe fire for Jacob. We're going to breathe fire for all the tribes. We're going to breathe fire for the land. We're going to breathe fire for the Shabbat. We're going to breathe fire for the covenant. Breathe fire for our covenant. So y'all start that breathing off, get it good. You maintain the breathing. Because energy is all about breath, man. Energy is all about breath. So take them deep breaths, man, so they can feel us. So even in the halls of a Minty, they can feel us, man. Even in the halls of a Minty, make them feel His righteousness. Y'all ready to breathe fire on it, man? 1, 2, 3. feel, man? Y'all got me perspiring. How does that feel? Yeah, man, so stay way up with it. Stay Zanny. Stay Zanny. This is Zan. We Zanned up. We vibrating up. Y'all remember to get over to the ether 5 days a week. Don't slip on that. If you think ain't nothing new going on, then you got it twisted. Alright? Remember, twist up a lock for my sisters. LJ Robinson. I'm sorry. Lisa Robinson and LJ Free. I'm sorry, sisters. But we all one. We all one. So if I say LJ Free, I'm talking to Lisa Robinson too. We all one, baby. These are just titles, alright? I love y'all. We Jacob. Alright? This the Levitical flow. Alright, I love y'all. Alright? Y'all vibrate up. See you soon. Powwow.